right now, if you really look at it, with Leighton Vander Esch having so many injury problems, it was the better move to get Calvin Ridley.
I agree with you. I
It's
was really
it's
hoping you would have
what
gone.
the move for CeeDee Lamb is this year. It would have been the case in 2018.
Ooh, that boy, CD Lamb. Oh my God,
Woo!
I love me some CD Lamb, baby. He balled out, man. He balled
I
out.
think we found the clip from the beginning of the episode.
There you go. I love me some CD Lamb.
It's the boy, Bubba, let's coming through. Hella clutch, flawless, can't be touched. It's your boy, Bubba, let's. Yeah, I need that hot take. I need the truth and everything that is not fake. So tell me who's the.
Welcome back, Bubba Bunch, to another edition of the Bubba Let's Sports podcast, episode 167. It is winners and losers of week 2. Kevin, yay!
Winners and losers. I'm just gonna sit here and say that I think the NFL lost this week in general.
God damn it, that's one of mine. Okay.
Yeah.
You got ahead of yourself on there.
I
But
guess I did.
if you haven't seen this before, this is a weekly segment we do on the podcast where we jot down 3 winners, an honorable mention that was not quite a winner. And if you are a winner this week, you get...
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Actually did it right this time. And then for losers, we have 3 as well. And if you are a loser, you get the pain. You get Stephen A. Smith. Hurts every time.
That's classic right there.
That is. So then, with our second edition of the winners and losers, now that we can actually look at records and be like, okay, it's a good head start, we're going to announce who we think is the best 2-0 team, who is the best 0-2 team that can bounce back this season. So we'll save that for the end. But, Kevin, let's get it started
All right.
with our winners.
Okay.
Who is your first winner of week 2 in the NFL?
So I got 3 winners, right? Like we said. But I'm gonna start with the one that I don't think a lot of people are talking about personally. And to be honest, this is a winner that I stand corrected. I do. I really do stand corrected. I think the Chargers and Justin Herbert are a massive winner this week.
Yeah.
My Lord, I was blown away by how good he played. I'm gonna come out and say it, and I've been saying it. He almost outplayed Patrick Mahomes. He really did.
He did have more yards passing overall than Patrick Mahomes. You
Yeah.
did feel the Chiefs were struggling in that first half, and until a up-tempo drive, an up-tempo offense late in the third quarter, early fourth quarter, where they needed to come back, it felt that the Chargers were more composed and much more confident in their offense, especially in time of possession as well, than the Chiefs. So, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, man. I stand corrected. Like I said, I said that Josh Herbert was going to be decent. He was going to be all right. Nothing special. That's what I said. But, man, I know it's one game. I know it's a very, very small sample size.
Fucking someone's calling me. What the
You're right
fuck?
over there? Jesus.
I got the... Well, I wasn't going to say anything bad, okay?
No,
Go
you
on,
weren't.
Go on.
Yeah, but look, I know it's one game. I know it's just one game, one sample size. But still, I'm actually very impressed. I stand corrected. Justin Herbert, you look really good, man. Hey, and I mean, the Chiefs, we know they're not an elite defense, but they have a pretty good defense.
Okay.
They have a pretty damn good defense.
Okay. Here's where I step in. So I had Justin Herbert as one of my winners as well.
Oh, okay.
So 22 of 33, 311 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I felt like he did really well in his decision making. He made good throws, some tough throws, found the right receivers, found the right guys. He went to his best, Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry. Like he didn't really spread the ball as much as he wanted to, but he got it to those receivers volume-wise a ton, which is really nice. And you got to think of it. He found out that he was going to start right before kickoff.
I think, what was the interview? 5 seconds before? Anthony Lynn came up to him.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he said this in the press conference earlier today. He was like, "Look, I felt like I was ready, and then I didn't take it as a joke." Lynn came up to me and said, "You're starting," right before kickoff, and I was like, "Oh God, like that's ridiculous for a rookie quarterback." We
Yeah.
talk about how Josh Rosen, had to do it last year against
Dwayne
the Cowboys.
Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins as well. They put themselves in tough situations by their coaching staff, but for Justin Herbert to go into that with chest pains for Tyrod Taylor and knowing that Herbert was not going to be the guy from the start and needed time to develop and to get thrown into week 2 right before kickoff against the Super Bowl defending Chiefs, who, by the way, their defense was a huge reason why they did so well in the postseason last year. I think Tyrann Mathieu is a very underrated safety. Their defensive front is scary to think about. And for some, and I'm going to add you on to this, that say they're not an elite defense, they're a good defense. I think Steve Spagnuolo has done such an incredible job with them that they are an elite defense. They really are.
I didn't say it in a bashing way. I think that
You
I
did,
think
Kevin.
that
You did. You did.
replay that. I don't think they're an elite defense. I think they're extremely good, but not elite defense personally.
Either way, that is a tough defense to go into.
It is. It's
5 seconds before kickoff and to match up against. Now, in the credit, there's no film on Justin Herbert. We've seen this before, to where once you get film on a guy and they match up again later in the season, you may see a different story. You may see a much more momentum-filled Chiefs offense and an improved defense that has film on Herbert.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're probably not even going to see Herbert play as a starter for a long time, depending on what
Which is-
Tyrod Taylor's doing.
Which is a joke. Anthony Lynn, I cannot believe you are making those ludicrous statements. That is ridiculous.
I think the way he said it was terrible, because I can completely understand that, like, hey, it was a tough situation. We really didn't have anyone else, so Herbert had to go in. So then if Tyrod Taylor is good to go for week 3, you say, we're going to stick to the game plan. We're going to stick with Tyrod Taylor, even though we saw success in Herbert, but we just want to make sure he's comfortable. We want to make sure that he's prepared fully the next time that he comes into the game as a starter. And we want to do what the Chiefs did. We want to do what the Packers did, is develop these guys on the bench, make them learn, accustomed to the NFL life, and then next season, we're 100% ready to go. But the way he said it was, no, Herbert looked pretty bad considering the situation, and he's just not ready yet. Like, that's the way you go about it, and that's not the way to do it.
Look, before we move on to your first winner, all I'll say is this. Justin Herbert almost beat the Chiefs. He almost outplayed Patrick Mahomes. While Tyrod Taylor looked very bad against the Cincinnati Bengals. And let's be realistic, he did not win them that game.
No,
That's all I'm going to say about that.
the
But
Bengals should have won that game.
but I'm not the head coach, so I don't know.
Yeah, the Bengals were the better team in week 1. The Chargers took them to just the wire in overtime.
Which should have not happened. Let's be realistic about this.
Matchup-wise, that is just not supposed to happen, especially with a rookie quarterback that has been in the NFL for, 2 seconds, and knew that he was going to be the starter in 2 seconds before kickoff. It wasn't supposed to be like that. And I feel like the Chiefs are kind of just they look like they're in autopilot. They're just
little bit.
kind of
They
going
do.
through the motions. I mean, every
Yeah.
winning team does that. The Golden State Warriors did that. Even Baltimore last year, like, you just got through the end of the season, you're like, okay, we're just expected to win now, so we're gonna win.
Yeah.
But I felt like the Chiefs were kind of in that mode, and I think they'll bounce back. They'll be fine. But Justin Herbert, those Chargers look good in week 2.
They do. They
Might be competitive
really
in
do.
that AFC West. So
If Herbert stays,
which
if
he won't.
Herbert stays,
Which he
he won't. Anthony Lynn, I had respect for you when I watched Hard Knocks, not anymore.
But there is potential. I was impressed by Herbert, and I wasn't impressed by his Oregon film. So, Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert, you get
Oh, A little bit of the bubbly.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit this time.
Just a little bit.
First winner for me. It's also a rookie quarterback because he looked damn good on Thursday night.
Ooh, he really did, man. He really did.
Joe Burrow out of Cincinnati on Thursday night against the Cleveland Browns. I get it. You're like, but he lost. The Bengals lost 35-30. What are you talking about, Bubba? Well, I'm telling you right now that the man went to battle. 61 attempts through the air.
Okay, I'm gonna let you finish because I actually have a rant about that. Keep going.
37 completions, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns. He found 8 different receivers with little to no help on that offensive line that's banged up and it's not experienced. One of his best weapons in CJ Osuma, his tight end, injured in the second half, so he had to go to Darren. What was it? Sample.
Yeah, and then also the rookie.
And also the rookie, which looked pretty nice.
Yeah.
So, I want to make sure I get this stat right, and I hope that I get it right, because during the game, they said this is the first time since 1950 in the NFL to where a rookie quarterback throws for over 50 attempts and does not throw an interception.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think they put it on it like kind of towards the end of the game.
Since 1950, ladies and gentlemen, that's a long time. That's a minute in what the kids say nowadays.
Yes. Look, I think Joe Burrow played really well. I think that he's pro ready. I think we both agreed with that he was pro ready. Just the organization he's on is very unfortunate. All I'm going to say is this about Joe Burrow, the rant that I was going to say. It bothers me that he threw 61 pass attempts. It really bothers me. The reason why it bothers me is how the hell could you be so trash that you let your rookie quarterback throw it 61 times? Do you know what happens to a shoulder after 61 NFL pass attempts? My man better have had buckets of ice ready to be just keep putting them in packs and put them on the shoulder. Because my Lord.
He was throwing 9 innings. He was throwing a shutout.
No, man. He threw extra innings. He threw extra innings.
Yeah.
God. Bengals, please get this man some help. Come on, dude. You gotta be kidding me.
Why I think it's not just the stats for me that make him a winner this week. And, of course, they don't win the game, so ultimately it's not a successful story out of Cincinnati so far.
Which is on the defense, because they played horrific. My God.
Well, the Browns' offense did look good. I see what I want to see in the Cleveland Browns offense, and I do feel, much like the Chiefs, that when healthy, this Cleveland Browns defense can be top 10, top 5.
Agreed.
Their secondary is really good right now with Denzel Ward. Like, once they get Grant Delpit, once everyone's healthy,
rest in peace, Grant
and you have Myles Garrett up front, I think this is a very aggressive and physical defense that just needs time to develop some more and then get healthy. But with no help on your offensive line, what I loved about Joe Burrow's performance is that it's the same thing that happened in LSU, especially in the national championship game, is when the pressure was on and you got pressured, you got dropbacks, you get sacked so many times by this defense, you get back up. He made mistakes. He made plenty of mistakes. He
really
made some
did.
bad throws. He got banged up really bad. He took some hits. But what he did after that, when Cleveland would drive down the field and take up so much of that clock and just demoralize the Bengals, Joe Burrow went out there every single time and said, I'm going to lead this team down the field. I'm going to make this a competitive game no matter what. And even though it was 35-30, I mean, it could have been easily, it could have been 23-35. But Joe Burrow takes them down the field in less than a minute and gets the touchdown to make it at least competitive at the end. And he did what he had to do. Same thing in week 1. He gave them a chance to win. That's all he had to do. And it was their kicker that messed up. But to Joe Burrow, like that's not a win in his book. He's not a selfish guy. He's going to be a team player. And in this game, he was a team player. He took whatever he needed to take in order to keep this Bengals team in the game. And through all the mistakes, through all the banged up, tackles and sacks that he had to go through, he just felt composed. He felt chill. He never
Yeah.
felt like he was under duress. And that's why I love Joe Burrow so much. And hell, he may not even need ice. Just give him a cigar. Like it's the national championship. Take
Yeah,
it easy on
man.
that cigar, boy.
Oh man, I was really impressed with Joe Burrow. I mean, we both agreed that he was going to be a really good player, but
It was
I don't know.
It was ultimately the spot that he was going to that's going to
Yeah.
determine his success.
But he looked like a seasoned veteran that game. He looked really good.
I loved
He
it.
looked really good. Like you were saying, he made some mistakes, but I mean, who doesn't, dude? Who doesn't? Let's be real about it. But he looked really, like you said, he looked composed. He looked like he knew what he was doing. And let's be real, something's up with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is not there. He's not the Joe Mixon that we know. And that's rough for a rookie quarterback, not having a good running back. Joe Mixon is extremely talented, but something's up with him. It's that offensive line, like you said earlier. But usually he's been able to make something out of that, and
Right.
this season he's not. So I'm a little worried about that. But either way, also what I love about Joe Burrow is that he's not even using AJ Green that much, and AJ Green should quote unquote be his number one target. And I don't know. I kind of like that he doesn't have to rely on AJ Green. He did target AJ Green a lot, but it makes me happy that he doesn't have to rely on him. He threw a lot to all three tight ends. He threw a lot to Tyler Boyd every now and then. He even gave John Ross a couple looks.
He targeted John Ross. He never completed a pass.
Yeah,
I think him and Higgins are going to be a great duo.
yeah. He targeted Higgins a lot as well. Unfortunately, Higgins couldn't bring him down, but yeah.
I'm just saying, if it comes down to it, let's give Washington a call sometime in the season and say, hey, how do you feel about Thaddeus Moss coming to Cincinnati?
Well,
Just saying.
wait, what?
Thaddeus
Oh,
Moss?
you didn't hear? He's gone.
No, he's still with the Redskins. Sorry, football team. Sorry. Washington football team.
Yeah,
He's on the
thought they
practice
cut
squad.
him. Ah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm calling him. I'm saying, you up?
Hey, you know what? That'd be such a good idea. That'd be such a good idea.
Joe
could
Burrow
agree.
loves his tight ends. He showed it on Thursday. Let's save that for the future. But for now, Joe Burrow, you get
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
just a little bit.
I think he deserves a little more for that shoulder. Just saying. But
Ooh, he probably had a lot of bubbly after that.
he
night.
probably
He's
had a
feeling
lot of
numb.
bubbly after that. Yeah, for real.
Kevin, your number 2 winner of the week.
All right, my number 2. And so this is where it starts getting a little, I guess, what you would say basic. But I am officially calling and starting the MVP campaign right now on this show. Let it be declared that at 2:43 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesday, September 22nd, I have officially declared that Russell Wilson is the MVP of the NFL. Look, this man, dude, if you find something wrong with him, you're dumb. You're stupid. This man has literally been perfect these first 2 games. And it's not so much that I'm mind blown, because I've always loved Russell Wilson, and we could both agree that we both love Russell Wilson, and it's an absolute travesty that he doesn't have at least one MVP vote in his whole career. But dude, the man is perfect. He's insane. I think he only has 11 incompletions in the first 2 games.
To 9 touchdowns.
0 interceptions. That doesn't count. I am a firm believer that those kinds of interceptions don't count in the NFL. But whatever, it's on the stats page. But Russell Wilson, my God, you are MVP. You look amazing. I really don't think anybody is close to him right now in the MVP race at all, in my opinion.
No.
It is such a wide margin. You know how we talk about tier breaks? No, he's up here. There's like 5 tier breaks before you get to the next person that could possibly be in the MVP race. He is phenomenal right now. Seattle looks pretty damn good.
They look scary.
They look pretty damn good.
They look scary. I said it in that predictions
You did.
podcast where I said, look, I think Patrick Mahomes will win it because he's flashier, but Russell Wilson should be the MVP. Now Russell Wilson saying, hold my milk because he probably doesn't drink alcohol, and he's
Russell
like,
Wilson is a very good Christian man. So yeah, he doesn't-
absolutely,
Yes, yeah.
and he's like, hold my drink. I'm gonna show you flashy.
Oh,
The
dude, please pull up the clip of that touchdown pass to Chris Carson. Did you see how he threw that ball? It looked like he just went like flick of the wrist. That's it. And he just floated it
that floater, not even that wasn't even his best throw. It was the one
to Metcalf.
to Metcalf over the shoulder. Oh, that's
and
a good one.
Metcalf burned Stephon Gilmore the whole entire game,
He
dude.
did. He did.
Gilmore looked lost.
I want to throw out the stat that the completion percentage or the rating they gave to Russell Wilson for that matchup of DK Metcalf and Stephon Gilmore was like 113.
Oh my God.
And then the rest of them were like 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible to watch what he did.
Oh
and
my God.
the announcers,
So good.
they do a very good job of explaining to you like how precise he really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how great he was at throwing the deep ball. And
Yeah.
on cue, he throws that pass to Metcalf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It is incredible to watch. So Russell Wilson, man, is the MVP right now.
Oh, 100% by far.
Lamar Jackson's probably second, but it's a far second.
There's, like I said, there is a couple of tier breaks before we even get to Lamar.
And with how Jamal Adams is playing on that defense,
Woo, Jamal looked like he was worth 2 first rounds and a third.
that's a bad man.
He's a bad man. He's a very, very bad man. Jesus.
I mean, I don't really have another soundbite to use, so I'll play it twice for Russell Wilson. One time,
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
2 time.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Too little of the bubblies equals a large amount of bubbly.
Which he deserves. I think him and Joe Burrow should share it together, by the way.
Oh yes, what a nice combo.
Yeah, man. Russell Wilson, I mean,
Balling.
can you say any more, dude? I don't think you can say any more.
This cat could ball, man. This cat
He
can ball.
he could ball. All right, man. What are you gonna follow up with now?
Got a little catchphrase for you. That might
Oh.
catch on.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to the desert for this one. I'm going
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the big 3 in LV, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you completely psyched me out. Wow.
Oh, no. I've praised Kyler Murray enough.
You psyched me out. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. Okay.
We're in the other desert.
Yes, we are.
We got the big 3 in LV, and that is Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, and Darren Waller for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Darren Waller, thank you for giving me 28 points on fantasy. Thank you.
That boy,
He is.
dominant.
Shout out to the Fantasy Footballers podcast. The Walrus was on last night. My goodness, he is phenomenal. He's insane. I love him.
Let's just talk about this real quick. Derek Carr, who has been slandered for so many years,
Yes.
I will take none of that slander here in this podcast because 28 of 38, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns.
He
Now-
was balling last night.
I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Yes, he did miss throws. Yes, he did miss wide open receivers. But he did what he had to do. He made the right passes, made them at the right time, used his right targets. Wait till he can use Henry Ruggs some more.
Oh, dude, Henry Ruggs. I can't wait for the day he's fully healthy and balls
There's
out.
going to be a time to where he's going to really have a good connection with Ruggs one day.
Yeah.
But he found 11 different receivers on Monday night.
Isn't that crazy? That's
11.
insane.
11.
I don't know how he did that.
He is a leader. He is loved by those players. I know Gruden probably doesn't love him as much, but this man is your prototype franchise quarterback. That's not special like Lamar or Patrick. That's not terrible like Sam Darnold. He is a better version of Kirk Cousins, right there with Matt Ryan, and he is perfect for this football team.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, 27 carries.
Ooh.
They love to run the ball in Las Vegas.
He's
John Gruden loves to run the ball.
he a big boy, dude. He's a
is.
big boy.
88 yards though, it's kind of deceiving. But what I want you to do is I want you to watch a Raiders game this year, and I want you to say, isn't he perfect for John Gruden? He's got the size.
Yes.
He's super light on his feet, and he's agile. He can break tackles. He's so patient at finding the gaps, finding the holes. If I'm building a running back right now, I am building Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
I am
he's
building
insane,
him.
dude.
I think, of course, you want to say Saquon and Ezekiel Elliott, but those are once in a generation type of running back that you just can't even imagine having.
McCaffrey as well. Be respectful.
McCaffrey as well. Okay, my bad. Well, he's different. He's a hybrid running back.
He is. Yes.
If I'm building a power back, a tailback that can win me football games, it is Josh Jacobs and Nick Chubb.
Ooh,
Those are my two.
it's good. Yeah.
But I'm taking Josh Jacobs by far right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm building a tight end,
Oh,
I'm
there-
building Darren
oh,
Waller.
My lord.
12 receptions, 103 yards, and a touchdown. The presence and the influence he brings to this offense and the attention that the defense needs to put on him is incredible. It's one of the most dominant things I've ever seen since like Gronkowski.
Yeah.
And I think
It is.
Gronkowski is a little bit slower, a little bit less durable. Darren Waller is my type of tight end. He's a basketball prototype. He is meant to play basketball, but he's so good at catching the ball that he is on a football team.
You know what's crazy is that once again I have to shout them out, the fantasy footballers. I was watching their podcast earlier today, and Andy said, I thought it was funny. He was like, "How is it that a tight end that's like 6'6", 240 was somehow invisible until he caught the ball?"
Yeah.
Dude, last night the Saints didn't know where he was.
They didn't double team him until the second half.
And even when they double teamed him, he was still catching balls, dude.
Still wide open.
He was so wide open somehow. It's like they lost him. The Saints defense lost him. Darren Waller, I think personally, single-handedly won them that game. Him and Derek Carr had that connection.
They did.
It was insane. I was at my friend's house, and Elias, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, dude, but I was at my friend's house watching that game last night. I every single time I saw Darren Waller catch a ball, I would just look at him and he would just be like this every single time. Because him and his dad could not understand how a tight end was beating a Saints defense that has been pretty renowned for the past 3 seasons.
The only matchup that worked down the Saints' favor only a few times was Malcolm Jenkins.
And Malcolm Jenkins costed them the game. To a certain extent. I'm going to say at the end because they played bad all around. But still.
Well, that huge penalty.
That huge penalty.
It was a huge call.
Okay, I wouldn't say costed the game. It ended the game. There you go. That's all I'll say.
No,
but look, man.
I think the Raiders played a complete football game, complete 60 minutes, and it was really nice to see kind of what's the right word for it? Just a renaissance of the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders looked really good last night. They surprised me. I'm not going to lie, man. They really surprised me. They even surprised me when we all know the Panthers were not going to be a fantastic team this year, but we knew that they were going to be pretty good. They had a good draft. McCaffrey's there. Teddy B. Robbie Anderson is balling out. So the Panthers are a pretty good team. And I was surprised when the Raiders beat them week 1. And now they come in to their home stadium and they beat the Saints the way they did.
Shut down Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
Limited Kamara in the second half.
I mean, Kamara was their only weapon.
I mean, he had
That's
his
it.
moments for sure, but Drew
Yeah,
Brees
man.
just did not have a good night.
I agree with you that the Raiders do deserve a little bit of the bubbly.
Big 3 and LV.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Your final winner, sir.
My final winner, and I think this one, it makes me feel a little type of way, and it makes me happy because I thought it was extremely disrespectful. How many people were just not on the Aaron Rodgers hype train? Excuse me. This is Aaron Rodgers. What is he, Lutz?
Aaron Rodgers?
Yes. What is he? What does Stephen A. call him all the time?
I don't know. I don't watch Stephen A.
He's a bad man, bro. He's a bad man. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, and I think it is extremely disrespectful that people were not looking at him as a top 5 quarterback this season. Look, my last winners are the Packers. 40 points in both games so far. Aaron Rodgers is looking nice. Bad man. Hey, look, you know who else is a bad man?
Is that the former UTEP minor, Aaron Jones?
Oh, 46 points yesterday. Thank you very much, Mr. Aaron Jones. Oh, man.
You can't win a football game.
Actually, they have. They're 2-1 right
They
now.
beat Abilene Christian. Shut up and move on.
They're 2-1.
Oh, stop it.
Look,
We want Bama. Is that what you're going to say?
well, my Texas Longhorns beat the shit out of them, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, Aaron Jones
Yeah, real football
looks
team.
phenomenal. Hey, shut up, right? What the hell's wrong with you? Relax. Give some respect. Anyway, Aaron Jones looks phenomenal. Aaron Rodgers looks great. Devontae Adams is not needed, apparently.
I like Lazard. I like Scantling.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And that's very surprising.
Still got Jamal Williams out of the backfield, too.
You got Quadzilla. I mean, my lord. AJ Dillon. I think you know what? I think it'd be a fun thing to compare Saquon Barkley and AJ Dillon's quad sizes. Would you agree?
They can squeeze watermelons at a
Yes.
fast pace. That's all I will
Yes,
say.
yes, they can. Anyway, and also might I add that the Packers defense looks kind
like
of
'em. I like 'em.
kind of on the same level as last year, and they were looking good. So,
Jair Alexander,
mhm.
beautiful, and those Smith brothers are coming at you.
Oh, they are. They
bad.
are, dude.
Bad.
So, yeah, Packers are my last winner. And for the point of respect, I think the Packers and Aaron Rodgers deserve a little bit of the
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
There we go.
a little bit of the bubbly. Yeah. So, sir, your last winner.
Let's go back to the real desert. Kyler Murray, baby.
Oh,
You know what? That was-
thank God.
Yeah,
Thank God.
no, I'm enjoying the heat right now, and I mean he's got some heat on his feet. This boy can run.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I'm just gonna say my winner is the Kyler Murray Offensive Player of the Year campaign that I've put myself on at the beginning of the year. And
I said that Russell Wilson's right here. There's tear breaks. But after those tear breaks, I would say Kyler Murray's up there when it comes to MVP right now. He is playing out of his mind.
he is. So I had Russell Wilson winning MVP. He should win the MVP. And then I had Kyler Murray winning Offensive Player of the Year. Go check out that video if you haven't already.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I watched his high school film. I watched his high school highlights. I watched him at Oklahoma. I'm seeing the exact same thing in Arizona. I'm seeing just a man having fun.
He makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Yes.
He makes it look very easy.
He's stutter stepping and walking into the end zone.
Did you see that one run? I think it was his first touchdown run, where he was on the right side of the field, and there was like 2 Redskins about to just lay him out. And he just jukes left, and that's it. He walks in. And I was like, what? How did he do that? How did he do that? He's so good.
And in
He's
the
so
words of
good.
Booby Miles' dad in Friday Night Lights, because I keep quoting that movie,
You do.
and he can pass.
And
Man.
he can pass.
He's got an arm. He's got an arm.
My-
The stats
Well-
aren't all there as far as his
No.
his throwing ability, but he has just done a phenomenal job at building that relationship already with DeAndre Hopkins. Their first drive, he made it look easy with DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins, I think he like settled the campfire, roasted some s'mores.
Mm-hmm.
He probably even called his mom, be like, "Hey, mom, I'm about to score this touchdown, and they don't even know that I'm behind them."
Mm-hmm.
I love D-Hop so much. He's so good.
So, I mean, Kyler Murray.
He's
I
great,
think
man.
back to back. I think back to back winner.
Yes.
For winners and losers. So, Kyler Murray once again. Enjoy another week of.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Yes, sir.
He's so good. He's so good.
Very good. Fun to watch.
Oh,
Arizona
my God.
Cardinals 2-0, baby. What did I tell you? Sleeper pick for both of us. We're on
Yeah.
board. Miami Dolphins sleeper pick as well. They're 0-2. Forget about it.
My AFC sleeper pick has unfortunately
We
not
don't talk
worked
about it. No,
out.
Drew Luck is injured. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton's out. Goddamn. Jerry Judy's injured. Can we get a break? Von Miller's not there. Denver deserves a break.
They do deserve a break.
Kevin, who is
Yes,
your
sir.
honorable mention of the week?
My honorable mention of the week, and this is the one that I said you were not going to like because you are not a fan of this man. But if you do not give him the proper respect that he deserves for at least this game,
Don't do it.
yes,
Do it.
I am going to say it.
Don't do it.
Cam Newton is an honorable mention. Cam Newton is my honorable mention. Look, me and you have both agreed that Cam Newton has, after that 2015 season, he was looking rough. My guy was just not the caliber quarterback that he was when he first started his career. But I cannot sit here and say that he has not played quite well. I'm not saying he's the second coming of his 2015 MVP season, but he almost led the Patriots to beat the Seahawks. He beat Miami pretty good. Not saying much. Miami is a developing team, but still, I don't know. I'm quite impressed with Cam Newton. He was throwing the ball pretty well against the Seahawks defense. I would say he's my honorable mention. I'm not gonna lie. I'm quite surprised about Cam Newton. I'm not saying he's gonna be like comeback player of the year or anything, but for so far these past 2 weeks, and especially honorable mention in week 2, I have to admit, he looks okay. He looks all right. And you cannot sit there and tell me no because you know I'm right.
He's making the right decisions.
Yes, he is. He is making the right decisions, and I'm very surprised about that.
His decision making is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
His accuracy is better than what I've seen in the past.
It is better. It's not elite, but it's better. It's better.
And Josh McDaniels is doing a very good job at play calling with Cam Newton and design runs, QB draws.
He is. It seems like him and Julian Edelman are best friends.
Until we get consistency out of Cam Newton, where we see this on a regular basis, not just in 2 weeks. I will not give Cam Newton any credit.
You're being extremely disrespectful right now.
No, I'm not.
You're being very disrespectful.
I got 5 years worth of bad play by Cam Newton and plenty of injuries to back me up. 2 weeks in, no.
You have to give him at least a quarter bubbly. You're being very rude right now.
No, you're not getting any bubbly. That's the whole point of honorable mention.
You're being very rude.
You're on the way to bubbly, but you're not getting any bubbly.
You're being very rude right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Because even the winners get a little bit of the bubbly. So what
You're
makes you
quite
think
rude.
Cam deserves a little bit of the bubbly?
You're being quite rude right now. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. No. In week 8, if I have a consistent Cam Newton every week until week 8, I will put him in winners. I will put him in winners.
Sir, the title of this video is Winners and Losers of Week 2. He is a Week 2 honorable mention. You are being disrespectful.
No, stop. It's my podcast. Shut up. Honorable mention for me, the man with no distance. The sky's the limit, and I don't even think that's the limit. Harrison Butker from the Kansas City Chiefs. Field goal, number 1 attempt, penalty. Out of 50-plus yards in overtime. Attempt number 2, timeout. Makes it both times. Timeout, 50-plus yards. Attempt number 3, again in overtime, 50-plus yards. And he makes it again, right through the uprights.
He has quite a leg.
Man, he's good.
He's very
He is
good.
really good. And then he said on the Pat McAfee show earlier today that he was good from 70 yards earlier in that practice, or
I believe it.
in the pregame. So I definitely think that if we're going to look back at it, I think Harrison Butker will have the longest kick in NFL 2020, and whenever that is. But I feel like he's going to have that record this year. But to hit it 3 times, not just once. Some kickers can't even hit it once in 3 attempts, and he hit it back to back to back. And
He is quite something. He is.
and he won the game back to back to back. So technically, yes, honorable mention, well deserved, sir.
Well deserved. Like Cam Newton for week
Shut
2.
up. Who's your loser?
Week 2. My loser. My first loser.
Well, can I actually go first? Can I just go first?
Yeah.
'Cause this one's gonna be quick.
Okay, go for it.
The NFL. All right,
Yeah.
let's just. I'm not even gonna explain anything to you, other than this is what a makeshift start of a season does. I'm not a fan of preseason at all. I'm not a fan
agree.
of 4 preseason games. I think 2 is more than enough for these players to get back into the swing of things. And then it's up to them in week 1 and week 2 to really solidify who deserves to be on this team. But with no preseason, Jimmy Garoppolo, Saquon Barkley, Raheem Mostert, Solomon Thomas, Tevin Coleman, Nick Bosa, Drew Lock, Cortland Sutton, Cam Akers, Sterling Shepard, Devontae Adams, Tyrod Taylor, Paris Campbell, Malik Hooker, Byron Jones, Anthony Barr, Bruce Irving. That's just in week 2. Those are guys that are going to be on the IR or are going to be out for several weeks. Not including Christian McCaffrey, by the way. Not including the guys that are already on IR from week 1 and the training camps. Well, thanks for coming to my tech talk. Okay. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Don't really need a response from me. It's very obvious. This is bad. I think
real bad.
I think Adam Schefter said that this week there were 7 ACL tears. There's never been that many ACL tears in one season in the
I think
NFL
that went
in a
up.
long time.
I think it's 8 now.
It's 8 now? Okay, well, it's 8 now. That is horrific. Let's bow our heads in a quick prayer. Dear Lord, please help all the players that have torn their ACL, because Jesus Christ, what the hell?
Sweet baby
You
Jesus.
serious?
Godspeed.
Godspeed. Saquon, Cortland, Solomon, Joey. Please. Bruce Irving, that's right. Paris Campbell as well. He was looking promising. RIP. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Anyway, quick prayer. Amen.
Almost half of those players are from the 49ers, by the way.
Yeah. So, oh man, I'm going to have a lot of fun talking about this first loser. Oh man. And you know me, Lutz. You know me personally, how much I despise these Philadelphia Eagles. Look, Carson Wentz was a MVP candidate in 2017. He was. Until he had that ACL tear. And I never wish any injury on anybody. And I'm glad he is recovered from it. But this man is becoming the new Tony Romo. My poor guy now has back problems. He apparently has tissue problems. My Lord, that's awful. But in the grand scheme of things, these Eagles look bad. They look very, very bad. And might I add, Carson Wentz, he does not look good at all. My goodness. Last week, my man was almost put in a coffin by Ryan Kerrigan and Chase Young and those boys on the Washington football team defensive line. This season, he didn't get. I mean, this game he didn't get sacked a lot, but my lord, he was not on it. He looked very, very bad. I am very well aware of the state of the Eagles' offense and defensive injuries. I'm very well aware. I'm not dumb.
I was about to say that.
But still, holy God, they look so awful. It brings me so much joy to say that because I hate the Eagles. But wow, I never thought it would be this bad. I'm genuinely surprised of how bad Carson Wentz and the Eagles are playing right now.
I do not speak really bad things about the Eagles team because I'm actually impressed for what they've done in this last 5 years. You know, they deserve to win that Super Bowl a few years ago. They have a solid roster. Their coaching staff is impeccable with Doug Peterson, Jim Schwartz. I love what they're doing.
And so here's the thing. I agree with you. I'm just a Cowboys fan, and I hate them so much.
I just don't like the fans. That's my only problem. But I enjoy watching the team. But when injuries have plagued them for so many years,
it's bad. It's really bad.
it's like the Cowboys have the most players on IR right now. I would not be shocked if the Eagles are second right now
I could see it.
because we have Isaac Seumalo, their guard, IR until week 6. Alshon Jeffrey out until after week 3. He was put on IR earlier this season. Greg James with thigh injury out until week 5. Vinny Curry, who got injured in week 1. That's a big loss until week 5. Robert Davis, Deshaun Hall, Brandon Brooks, Quez Watkins, Will Parks, Andre Dillard, Josh Perkins, IR. And you just can't help but to feel bad for them.
I don't.
I mean, I sort of do. Like, injuries just will plague any team. It doesn't matter who you are. And you can make the excuse of, like, if you're a good team, you get past the injuries. But these are one of the few teams that we've seen it before for so many years and recently that they just cannot deal with it. They can't.
Yeah.
So if Vinny Curry goes down, there's not much you can do. If Brandon Brooks goes down, there's not much you can do. And once Carson Wentz goes down, I think that's going to be kind of the
nail in the coffin.
the last straw. And then you have Lane Johnson, who was injured in week 1, and he's been dealing with injuries the last few years. So it's just not a good thing. Jason Peters too, like I think he's gone now. I don't know if he's with a team. I think he's retired, but
I don't remember actually.
but it's kind of a sad sight to see for an Eagles team that is always said, like, on paper their roster looks really good, and then their roster is now on the IR. And I think that's the biggest thing for them right now, and it's going to take a long time until like week 7, week 8 to really develop. But by then, I think the NFC East is kind of out of reach at that point, and it'll be a hard task to get back into it with already a loss to Washington. If they play the Giants soon, and I think the Giants can squeeze by with a win, and then if they play the Cowboys, like, well, who knows what Cowboys team is going to show up? But on just from what I've seen so far, the Eagles just can't match up right now because they have no one.
Look, I'm going to put my Cowboys fan Eagle hatred to the side just for this last point that I'll make before you go to your first loser. I mean your second loser. Look, the Eagles, I do feel bad for them. I really do. In general, as a human being, I do feel bad for them because, like you said, it's really rough to try and go through a season when you have the talent, because the Eagles have decent players. They really do. Their roster is quite talented, but the fact that they can't stay healthy, it sucks. It really does suck. And then I think for me, the part that hurts the most is the fact that Carson Wentz is extremely talented, and he is just another one of those players that he reached his full potential 1 year, and it got cut short because of the ACL tear. And after that, it's just been a downward spiral for him, and it sucks. Yeah. It really, really sucks because he is a very, very talented player. I've never liked playing against Carson Wentz because he can make some great plays happen out of nowhere. But yeah, it's rough. But the Cowboy side of me, I don't care. Thank God. I hate the Eagles.
Excluding the Cowboys bias here.
Excluding the Cowboys bias here. Yeah, it sucks. So, Eagles, my week 2 loser. Sorry, it is what it is.
Had to do it twice.
Had to do it twice.
Second loser, Bill O'Brien and the Houston Texans.
I have a stat that might blow your mind talking about the Texans.
Let me just give you a few reasons why.
Go for it.
First, it's their schedule.
Their schedule, yeah.
In their first 2 weeks, they're playing the favorites,
AFC favorites, yeah.
in the AFC. And the Chiefs and the Ravens did not look good against either of them. In week 3, they're going against the Steelers, who are a very physical football team. In week 5, they will play. In week 5 and week 6, they play divisional with Jaguars and Titans back to back. Not fun. Week 7, they play the Packers. Then they go on their bye week. That is a rough first half of a season, and you're already down 0-2.
I could see them going 2-6.
Yep, I really could see that. Second reason why. When you have the Ravens and the Chiefs back to back, you just want to show something. You want to show some fight. You want to show that you can compete against them. And when it comes down to later in the season, if you can make the playoffs at this point, you want to say, we were not as good back then, but now we got the wide receiver cores going. We got the running back game. We got Deshaun Watson back in his MVP self. And the defense can hold up. I'm seeing the wide receivers can't stay healthy, and they're not as threatening as I once thought. The running backs, David Johnson's good, not great.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson can't hold the ball for longer than 2 seconds because of that offensive line.
Horrific.
And that defense is one of the worst defenses I've ever seen because
They're quite bad.
they can't get off the field and they give up too many fucking yards.
Yeah.
And guess what? That is, that was like 5 reasons why their team is bad. Bill O'Brien can be blamed for that. Bill O'Brien can be blamed for that. Bill O'Brien. So it somehow always comes back to Bill O'Brien not preparing these guys for the big games, not winning those big games, and making roster moves that leave you scratching your head. And yet he gets a promotion. He gets a promotion to where not only is he the head coach, but he is operating this team to handle the roster, to handle the moves. And oh, would you look at that? It gets you 0-2. Good start. And it's not going to get any better.
Hey, let's really quick. Did you know that DeAndre Hopkins set an NFL record yesterday for the most receptions in the 2-game span? What team was he formerly on?
I would say it's the Texans out of Houston.
Oh. Why did he leave?
They said he had attitude problems and that they didn't like having his baby mamas around, and they didn't want to pay him.
Oh. Who was the one that let him go?
That would be Mr. O'Brien.
Oh. Okay. So, one. Why the hell is Bill O'Brien still your head coach, dude? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. The Texans are, what are you doing? Seriously. You know what? I'm going to pull a Stephen A. Smith, and I really don't like when Stephen A. Smith says this because he's usually kind of wrong about this stuff. But I'm gonna say it. I'm going to pull it. You need to fire this man right now. Right now. What more could possibly go wrong if you fire Bill O'Brien right now? Seriously. Come on, dude.
You'll lose the games that you're already going to lose.
Exactly. Nothing else will change. Fire this man. How is he still a head coach? I don't get it. It's a joke.
Let's get to that wild card on Saturday afternoons and then lose those games. Let's do it. That's the Bill O'Brien way.
A joke, Bill
Let me
O'Brien.
just-
I can't believe you.
It's just the remix version. It's the remix version.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's so much pain going on in Houston that the Bill O'Brien can't fix. And it's all because of him.
Deshaun Watson.
Get out of there. He can't.
I'm gonna look in the camera for this one. I hope you're watching, Deshaun. Fake an injury. Please get out of there. Get out of there, please, dude. Do something. My lord. I hope you had a clause in there that said, if Bill O'Brien is still my head coach, I can leave. Cause my God, I'm sorry, dude. I'm really sorry for you. Oh, by the way, here's my crazy stat that you might like. Will Fuller was on the field for 73% of the offensive plays yesterday for the Texans.
Oh no.
Hey, you want to know how many times he was targeted?
I'm gonna take a wild guess here.
Please take one. I'm actually very curious to see what number you're going to come up with.
A big fat 0.
Yes. Are you serious?
Wow.
0 targets?
Out of your
Dude,
deepest threat.
I think we could both agree that Marcus Peters is not the shutdown corner he used to be. Okay.
Well, I mean, he did look really good yesterday.
He is a very good cornerback. But come on, dude. We both know Will Fuller's a speedster. I'm highly sure there was multiple plays where he could have had at least one target. Come on.
I get that. I understand.
Come on. Oh, God. Bill O'Brien gives me an ulcer talking about him. All right.
So, oh yeah, it's you.
Yeah. So, my second loser.
After that talk, I thought you would have Bill O'Brien as your loser.
No, Bill O'Brien's my season-long loser. You're a bum.
Yes.
You're a bum, dude. Second loser. Something has to be said. Someone has to be fired. Like Bill O'Brien. The second half Falcons are my loser of this week. Now look, that game was something else. Cowboys.
If you'd like to know what happened, go watch the Cowboys versus Falcons review that is now on this podcast, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube. Go on.
Quite a plug, sir.
Thank you.
Let's take a very small condensed look at this game. The first half, the Falcons looked phenomenal. Cowboys looked like garbage. Well, okay.
I thought you were talking about the Super Bowl. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, dude. Deja vu. So the second half starts.
Give me Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah, second half starts, and once again, Falcons look pretty good. And then the Cowboys start coming back, and it's like, all right, cool, whatever. At halftime, the score was 29-10.
Yep.
29-10. Let's think about that. 29-10. Okay. It got to a point where Dak Prescott, my quarterback, my warrior, led our boys back to a position where, they could have won. Okay? Now, the score is 39-37. And the Cowboys are about to attempt the most failed play in NFL history, in NFL longevity. Okay? But it's common. It should be the most failed play. It is what it is. Tell me, as the receiving team, what is the rule for an onside kick?
If it does not go past 10 yards, then there is a penalty. If it does go beyond the 10 yards, it allows the onside kicking team to recover. Mm-hmm. But as a receiving team, you can pick it up at any goddamn time you want.
Oh, so anytime, right? Anytime at all.
Anytime, sir. It's not
Okay.
a punt return.
Okay, so let's get this straight. You are telling me that not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, 6 Falcons did not know that rule? Are you serious? There's no way. There is no way.
You're looking like the Cowboys special teams from last year.
There's no way, dude. Okay, so first you blow a 20-point lead.
Oh, flashbacks.
Might I add that you still scored one more time and a field goal, and you blew that as well. So if you want,
and the Cowboys unsuccessfully did a fake punt, unsuccessfully got the 2-point conversion. Julio Jones dropped a teardrop of a pass in the end zone. Yeah.
So let's get straight. You could not save a 39-point win with 0 turnovers. You have 6 players on your team that does not know the NFL rules about onside kick. And might I add that the Atlanta Falcons broke an NFL record. Teams that were winning 30 points plus with 0 turnovers in the fourth quarter were 440 and 0. Are you serious? And you became the first team to lose because you have players that don't know what they're doing. Stephen A. Smith, I'm going to use your line that you said on Monday morning. The Atlanta Falcons have to be the dumbest team in the NFL. I cannot believe that, dude. That is ridiculous. Thank you for my soliloquy, monologue, whatever it's called. You have the floor, dude. Oh, my God.
It's more of the Falcons' loss than the Cowboys' win. That's all I'll say.
Of course. Absolutely.
And yeah, I don't know.
Dude, how could you logically sit down with someone and explain to them this game? How?
Oh, you can't. No, you can't.
How?
I was thinking I was in a Twilight Zone after that game.
Dan Quinn. You know what? Dan Quinn, Atlanta Falcons special teams, and the Atlanta Falcons defense. You are my loser of week 2. Yeah.
That's Dan Quinn in the showers after the game.
Yeah. That's Arthur Blank in the shower.
Even Arthur Blank just said, didn't know what they were doing. He literally he called you out.
I'm still mind blown. Look, I'm happy. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm glad we won. But wow, man, I'm still in shock. I can't believe it.
I'll make this a quick loser. Because other than the injuries and the ones we just named, you can't be that hard on the rest of the league. But after what happened today, with the report out of Denver that they're expected to sign Blake Bortles in replacement of Drew Lock, I don't know. I don't know what it will take for these teams to realize that Blake Bortles was the laughingstock in Jacksonville. He was a backup, never saw the field in Los Angeles behind Jared Goff. And like, you have a ridiculous history of signing terrible quarterbacks. Trevor Siemian, Brock Osweiler. Who's the other bum?
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, thank you. And now you sign Blake Bortles. When you know that Colin Kaepernick is sitting down somewhere in shape, ready to go, could fit really well into this offense, and you decide to go for Blake Bortles. Vic Fangio, John Elway, it's plain and simple. You signed Blake Bortles.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know.
I don't think I have a response to that one, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't understand it. You know, it's the injuries. I get it, but I would rather have Jeff Driscoll take that team every day of the week, twice on Sundays, than ever put in Blake Bortles again in an NFL football game.
Yeah, Blake Bortles was something. He was something. I think he had one good season out, and after that,
he had 2 good games in the postseason where the Jaguars had a Super Bowl contending team. Defense, I should say. Defense. They had a Super Bowl contending defense. And Blake Bortles, all he had to do was just not screw up.
And he screwed up.
If my quarterback's only job is to not screw up, I think we have an issue at quarterback. Because we're in a league now to where that quarterback is everything.
Yeah.
And the only real exception we can make of, like, just don't screw up, but he can still do something, is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And he screwed up. So why would Blake Bortles be the exception here? And in a Denver team that is terrible with quarterbacks, that I know the season's not going your way, but you just had to go down to that desperation level to sign Blake Bortles. Just move on. Kevin, who's your last loser? We
My
gotta wrap it
last
up.
my last loser, Lutz, happens to be a correct prediction from earlier in this offseason. Do you remember my NFC bus team for this year?
Is it the Vikings?
Correct. The Vikings are my last loser of this week. Look, man, Kirk Cousins does not look good at all. I feel bad for Dalvin Cook because he is literally having to carry this team to the end zone on every single offensive drive. You think they missed Stephon Diggs?
After how he's playing in Buffalo, I think so.
You think they miss him? Look, we both said, and a lot of analysts said that Adam Thielen is an incredible talent, but he's not number one talent. He's not.
He can't be.
He
You can't put him in
can't.
that spot.
You can't put him in that spot. And he showed it many times before when Stephon Diggs was injured. Look, besides the fact that Kirk Cousins is looking iffy, Dalvin Cook is having lumbar problems carrying this team. Adam Thielen is not your number one. Justin Jefferson,
Looks good.
he looks good, but it's rough. It's rough when you're in that offense. Kyle Rudolph, who the hell's that? Anyway, their defense, though, Lutz. Their defense
They're
looks.
depleted.
Their defense. Look, we were talking about the Eagles and how their defense is bad, but oh my Lord, I would have never thought in 5-10 years that you were to come and tell me and say that a Mike Zimmer defense is garbage. I would have told you to stop talking. You're dumb. You're stupid. But they look so bad. They look very, very bad. Look, the Colts are not an elite team. The Colts they're a good team. They're a decent team.
Mm-hmm.
Phillip Rivers is looking quite well. Jonathan Taylor is looking quite well.
He's good.
Those no-name receivers that the Colts have, they're outplaying T.Y. Hilton. They're looking good. Even the Colts defense is looking pretty good. But in recent years, a Mike Zimmer defense would have very easily taken down that team. Very easily. And
They would have made an ugly game.
and
Ugly game.
what I saw yesterday out of that defense, oh my. Oh, I'm sorry, not yesterday. Sunday, I'm sorry. Oh my. Oh my, it is bad. It is very, very bad. And all I'm going to say, I was right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No Daniel Hunter, no Everson Griffin,
Oof.
no Anthony Barr,
Anthony Barr is out for the year.
no Andrew Sandejo, no Xavier Rhodes.
Who?
Okay. But depleted
Yeah,
is
it's
an
bad.
understatement.
It's
for
very
this
bad.
defense.
It's
And
very bad.
Kevin Stefanski deserves a lot of credit
Oh, he does. He
because
does.
he made this offense looks really good, and what he
Mm-hmm.
did in Minnesota is what he showed that he can do in Cleveland on Thursday night. Like it when you have weapons like that, you have a good running back like that, and you run bootlegs, you run play action. It is what he ran so well in Minnesota, and it's working in Cleveland, and it's showing in Minnesota. Like
Yeah.
Mike Zimmer's he's on the hot seat right now because
Yeah.
every year it was like, oh, can they get past the playoffs? Can they get past one playoff game? Can they get past the Packers? And every time it's no. So this is a sad one for me. It's really
But
is.
Vikings, you are my week 3 loser. 2.
No playoffs
yeah.
for them. Fucking
No
the Bears are
playoffs.
gonna get the playoff spot. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a wild one, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna end it because we're going long on this.
We are going long on
But
this.
this has been fun. I want you to give me your best 2-0 team right now, Kevin.
Best 2-0 team, Seahawks by far, 100%. Nobody can beat them. Don't at me.
There's one team that can beat them.
Who?
It is the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes.
Look,
can see
I
that.
think I think the Baltimore Ravens are the most balanced and most complete team right now. On both sides of the ball, their running game is unstoppable because not only do you have Mark Ingram, who looks fresh, he looks
does.
like 10 years younger. You got J.K. Dobbins, who I'm a huge believer in, and it's only going to get better from here. You got that guy Edwards, who just came out of nowhere.
Gus
and
Edwards.
He had himself a day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Great offensive line. Mark Andrews is their number one target. Hollywood Brown's there. They got Willie Snead, for God's sakes. Like, they just got all the weapons. But then you look at the defense. Dear God. Like,
Yeah.
Patrick Queen, who didn't even start last year in college, is their best linebacker, and he is in every play. You hear the name every single play. But let's just not forget the most under-the-radar move that happened during the offseason, Calais Campbell.
I can't believe it. I still can't believe he's there.
He just found himself in Baltimore, and then they're like, we gave you away for like a ham sandwich and a good night out. Like, that's all we need to do in order to get you from the Jaguars. And Calais Campbell, the man's like twice the size of any other lineman.
Oh yeah, he's huge. He's crazy.
He's ginormous. And then you have Marcus Peters, who played great on Sunday, who is leading this football team. You got Hardball, who has just done great things. As far as the atmosphere, as far as the culture, has revamped it like he did in the early 2010s when he went to the Super Bowl. And of course, you got Lamar Jackson.
My huge respect to John Harbaugh for I say Harbaugh? John Harbaugh to completely revamp his offense over one player. That takes a lot of guts, takes a lot of balls.
Yep.
Did it, and it's working. Hey, let's imagine drafting Cam Akers over J.K. Dobbins.
Wouldn't be me.
Imagine. Oh shit! It happened though. Wow, it happened. That's
Imagine.
crazy.
Imagine letting the best running back and then also the other best running back in the draft go for Cam Akers. Wouldn't be me.
Oh my goodness, unbelievable, sir. Worst 0-2 team.
Worst 0. I thought we were doing the best 0-2 team. I mean, I can look that up real quick. All right.
How about you do the best 0-2 team? I do the worst 0-2 team.
You're going to fucking hate it because I put the Atlanta Falcons.
What?
Yep. I think the Falcons are the best 0-2 team right now. Because
good point.
when you
That's a
look
good
at
point.
the rest of the 0-2 teams, you're like, what am I working with here?
Well, besides the fact that they're morons, I could
They're
agree.
still a great offense. They
Yeah.
can win games by just outscoring the other team.
I would like to publicly apologize, and I would like to stand corrected for my statements about Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, I knew you were amazing, but
You put some fucking respect on Calvin Ridley.
I stand corrected. I apologize for those comments I made about you. You just have to realize that I said those comments because your quarterback is extremely sus these past couple seasons. So cut me some slack. But Calvin Ridley is a baller. He's outplaying Julio Jones.
I love Calvin Ridley to death. I really thought the Cowboys, right now, if you really look at it, with Leighton Vander Esch having so many injury problems, it was the better move to get Calvin Ridley.
I agree with you. I was really
It's
hoping you were
what the move for CeeDee Lamb is this year. It would have been the case in 2018.
Ooh, that boy CeeDee Lamb. Oh my God, I love me some CeeDee Lamb, man. He balled out, man. He balled
I
out.
think we found the clip for the beginning of the episode.
There you go. I love me some CeeDee Lamb. All right, well, look, you did the best 0-2 team. My dumbass didn't understand you, so I'll say the worst 0-2 team. The worst 0-2 team by far has to be the New York Jets.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I was about to look at it and debate, but you did my dirty work. Good job. I don't have to look at it.
All I'm going to say is this, because we are quite over on time. The New York Jets played a San Francisco 49ers team that literally lost half of their team in that game. and they still lost 31-13. How?
You know
How,
what-
dude?
You know what's worse
Serious?
than the actual Jets team? Their turf. Because it
Oh, I
injured
saw
so
that,
many
actually.
players.
I saw that actually. Yeah.
Your team is so bad that your turf is being called out.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But, dude,
what?
you still lost by 20 points to a team that lost half of their players? How, dude? What? That's such a joke. Not even to mention that you have Adam Gase as your head coach. You thought he was a good pick after what he did last year in Miami? I mean, 2 years ago in Miami? What's happening?
You
What
let
is
Robbie
going on?
Anderson go.
You let Robbie Anderson go.
You keep Sam Darnold. You kept Le'Veon Bell,
What is happening?
who's on the IR. So now your best running back is Frank Gore, who is 81 years old. And you screwed up so bad that your best player multiple times publicly said, I do not want to be here. I do not want to play for the New York Jets. And you somehow are so bad that in a trade to where you get 2 first-round draft picks, and you are the one that loses that trade
Yeah.
because of how good Jamal Adams is. You're that bad. It's not even close. You got to be some kind of ass for me to look at the NFL Sunday Ticket Tracker, for me to look at every game that I could watch and say, I'm not even going to watch a second of the New York
No.
Jets game.
I would not like to see any second of New York Jets game. Absolutely not. No.
I don't care if you're playing on Thursday night and you're the only game on. You're playing the Raiders. You're playing the Giants. You're playing the Dolphins. I'm going to have myself a night out.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't watching no goddamn Jets.
No.
That's how
I am
bad
not.
you are. That you make me want to not watch football.
Why, dude? Why are they so bad? They're so bad. Like, the Browns used to be the laughing stock of the NFL, and now it's the Jets. Because the Jets are so bad.
I have not one single thing positive to say about the Jets. I
No,
can say one
I
thing
don't.
about the rest of the 0-2 teams. 0-2 team Bengals. They got Joe Burrow. They look all right. They can hang in there. The Giants, gave them some time. I think that defense can do something. Daniel Jones isn't looking too bad. Saquon's out. So just give Joe Judge some time. Who else? Like, who's another 0-2 team? The
we-
Broncos. You got so many injuries you can't.
We just talked about the Falcons. They look phenomenal. It's just they're dumb. They're
Their
stupid.
offense
They're
can
morons.
score 40 easily. And then there's the Jets, and you're like,
Even the Washington football team has promise. And let's be fair, they played an Eagles team that they should have lost to week 1, but because of how decimated the Eagles are in injury, they won.
well,
And they
when-
came back. They came back.
when your whole offseason is that your organization is in turmoil, and yet you come back week 1 and win, and then you just kind of have to go through the struggles in week 2 against Kyler Murray. But at least I'm like, they're in good hands. I have some
Yes.
optimism.
Yes.
There's no optimism for the
But
Jets.
but the Jets are a lost cause, dude. You know what? I'm gonna fucking say it. The Jets will be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft this year. They will.
Easy.
It is ridiculous how bad they are. I could see them going 1-15. I could see them going 1-15.
I mean, who do you have them beating?
I don't know. Maybe the Dolphins if they get lucky.
Whoa!
Maybe I don't know if they get lucky. If
Dolphins.
by the grace of God somehow Ryan Fitzpatrick throws 7 interceptions like that one game for some whatever reason,
That could happen.
or maybe Sam Darnold drinks a potion that makes him the second coming of Joe Montana, and somehow he wins the game. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Anybody. I mean, something, a miracle has to happen.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
We can argue about the Falcons, but we can't argue the Jets.
No.
We
Or maybe if they play the Giants, does the AFC East play the NFC East this season? I don't know. The Giants? No. I don't know. But they're so bad, dude. I don't know. They're really bad.
God bless yourself. If you're a Jets fan.
Hey, Le'Veon. Really, dude? Really? Really? You chose the Jets out of all the other teams that wanted you? Really?
He wanted money. So, yeah. Oh, well.
Now you're on the IR, bum. Anyway.
We're getting hostile here. All right, I'm going to
Yeah, a little
calm
bit.
down, Kevin, once we're finished. But thank you for watching Winners and Losers. This was a really fun episode.
It was
I
very
like this
fun.
one. We'll try to keep it short next time. But for now, enjoy this podcast. Make sure to check out all the other videos. And keep in touch with the podcast this week. We're going to have a stacked lineup for the rest of the week as far as episodes go. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Make sure to go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, subscribe, follow. In the link down below, or the description down below, we're going to have the link for Irving's cancer treatment GoFundMe. Going strong. He's doing really well. I keep in touch with him. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And then if you want to subscribe to the podcast through a membership, it's $1, $5, or $10 a month through anchor.fm/bubbleletts. What else do I need to plug? Social media coming soon. Some other shit. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next time on the Bubbleletts Sports Podcast.
Yeah, hold on. Tell me who's your top 5 quarterbacks right now, dead or alive, huh? And how much do you care about a ring if the best player got carried by the team? Now would you lose if it been a better draft pick? And do you cuss when your team get their ass